Good evening from New York. I'm Joy Reid in for Chris Hayes. Republicans did not want the public to see secret testimony related to the infamous Trump dossier. But today, Democratic Senator Dianne Feinstein went ahead and released the testimony anyway. And now that we've seen it, it's clear why the Republicans didn't want it to get out. Because this testimony destroys the conspiracy theory being peddled on the right to undermine Special Counsel Robert Mueller's Russia investigation. According to that theory, the dossier was co-opted by the FBI in 2016 as part of a Democratic plot to tarnish Donald Trump.
The Clinton campaign and the DNC, now we know those were one and the same, paid the law firm who paid Fusion GPS, who paid Christopher Steele, who paid Russians to give him this dossier, get this dossier that was, we think, taken to the FISA court and was the basis for securing warrants to spy on Americans. The coordination between the Clinton campaign and Russians to influence the election.
The testimony released today blows those claims out of the water. And the two Republican senators blocking its release, Chuck Grassley and Lindsey Graham, knew that. They knew the narrative being pushed on Fox News and Capitol Hill was baloney. But instead of correcting that narrative, they chose to perpetuate it, calling for a second special counsel to investigate so-called FBI bias and referring the author of the dossier, former British spy Christopher Steele, for a criminal investigation. It's all part of a concerted drive by the president's allies to muddy the waters of the Russia investigation and discredit the dossier, which outlines alleged Russian collusion with the Trump campaign in 2016. According to the testimony released today, the reports in that dossier were, quote, really serious and really credible. And their author, Steele, was an experienced intelligence professional who used to be the top Russia expert at MI6. The testimony was given by Glenn Simpson, co-founder of the research firm Fusion GPS, which hired Steele to investigate Donald Trump during the campaign. The research by Fusion GPS, in turn, was originally funded by the Washington Free Beacon, a conservative website, and later by a lawyer representing the DNC campaign. Simpson was interviewed in August for about 10 hours by investigators on the Senate Judiciary Committee. And more recently, as his firm's work has taken center stage in right-wing conspiracy theories, he's been calling on the committee's senior Republicans, Grassley and Graham, to release his testimony. Well, today, the top-ranking Democrat on Judiciary, Dianne Feinstein, got tired of waiting.
I think people are entitled to know what was said, and the lawyers also wanted it released. I see no problem with releasing it.
A spokesman for Grassley slammed Feinstein's move in a written statement, claiming that it, quote, undermines the integrity of the committee's oversight work and jeopardizes its ability to secure candid voluntary testimony related to the independent recollections of future witnesses. But Grassley may have had other reasons to object. According to the testimony, Christopher Steele approached the FBI in the summer of 2016, not as part of some shadowy Democratic plot, but because he was deeply troubled by his findings in the dossier. Quote, he said he thought we were obligated to tell someone in government about this information. He thought from his perspective there was an issue, a security issue, about whether a presidential candidate was being blackmailed. When Steele finally did get in contact with the FBI, it turned out he was not the first person to do so, according to this testimony. Quote, they believed Chris's information might be credible because they had other intelligence that indicated the same thing. One of those pieces of intelligence was a human source from inside the Trump